Welcome back to the Doug and Chapman Show, and we're going to continue on with our final three games for the Week 4 preview. This next one, 2-1 teams. Beans goes into the dump and takes on Trash. And really, it's kind of an interesting matchup here because they've got a lot of guys in the same teams playing against each other. You've got Peyton Manning on Beans' side of things, but he's got Austin Collie and Dallas Clark. Now, if Garcon doesn't play, who do you give the edge to, or do you think it's a wash?
Yeah, well, actually, Austin Colley's been having just a huge impact there, and I think he just has a bigger game. I think Austin Colley just comes up with a bigger game, and if he gets the touchdowns, then I think it goes to got to go to Trash. But I think Peyton Manning's going to get his numbers.
Yeah, and then you also have Donald Driver against Detroit on Trash's team, and you also have Greg Jennings on Bean's team going against Detroit. Jennings hasn't seen the ball a lot. Driver it seems like it's a security blanket. Is this the week that Jennings gets off the schneid? He did get a touchdown last week, but only had 18 yards.
Yeah, anytime you play Detroit, it's that's unfortunately the time players can find their rhythm and find their groove. Aaron Rodgers, I think, has proven that he likes playing against Detroit, and he likes that feeling. So I think Jennings and Driver both, but obviously Jennings has been the bigger receiver over the last couple of years.
Yeah. Also on Trash's side, he's got Chris Johnson going against Denver. Denver actually ranked number 1 in defense against running backs.
Surprise.
Is there any way that they contain Johnson here?
I don't think so. They haven't really faced any running backs of any significance. I mean, you're talking about Justin Forsett.
Yeah.
I forget who they even faced last week. Nobody that's a die.
Yeah, Joseph die.
Nobody that's like Chris Johnson. And I think they're going to really have a hard time containing Chris Johnson. I think he has another typical Chris Johnson day, 25 points.
Again, he has Darren McFadden going up against, I believe, Houston. And so it'll be interesting to see if Houston decides to run the ball, since if Andre Johnson doesn't play, that might factor into a little bit of that. Either way, who do you have in this game, Talk or Bean?
I think I'm going to have to go with the Bean. I like what they have as far as their matchups go. I think Trash is, I think he's going to have to figure out a way to find a way to win big games. I don't think this is his week to do that, and I think he's going to fall to 500.
I, too, will go with the Bean. And, Chapman, let me ask you this. What's going to happen in Trash Talk land if he goes to 500?
Oh, they'll be burning the stadium. The stadium will be burning.
What do you think he'll do? Do you think he'll sell the farm?
I don't think at 2-2. I think if he gets to 2-3, all of a sudden you're going to see some big trades talks going on. But he's been scoring 100 points.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think you're I got you going probably pushing 120 points this week. Yeah. And so you can only hope, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
So,
well, we'll see what happens with Trash Talk. Next, we got White Trash versus Soldier. And again, we've got two New York Jet running backs playing against each other. This will be very interesting. We're going to really see who Rex Ryan likes here the most. But the projections have LaDainian Tomlinson with 21 points and Sean Green with 6. Do you think that's going to be more balanced? Obviously, you hope it's not, but what do you think?
Oh, I think LaDainian Tomlinson. I mean, he's top in I think 20-yard rushes right now, and he looks like he's the young LaDainian Tomlinson. He's glad to be out of San Diego.
Yeah. Really in this one, I just don't know if Green's going to come off of this. And Jake's got to really be getting worried here. But
he's reminded me a lot of Kevin Smith last year, first-round pick.
Yep.
That just turned into a bust.
Just didn't really show up. Michael Turner has a great matchup against New Orleans, so he should be able to get his points there for Jake. Deshaun Jackson against Washington. Again, Deshaun Jackson, very big plays for White Trash. And you've got the week 2 of the Steve Smith, Jimmy Clausen experiment. Week 1 was not successful.
Yeah.
Week 2?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, Carolina just looks they just look bad as far as on the offensive side of the ball. Mm-hmm. Last week, I don't think they did much better than they had done the previous 2 weeks. So really, Clausen, Mike Moore, Trash Talk, whoever you want to put out there as QB, I think Steve Smith might get a few yards here and there, maybe a touchdown, but he's not putting up the big numbers he used to.
You also have, on your side, you have Orton. If Orton protects the ball against Tennessee, probably a good game, because that's how Tennessee's pass defense has been able to make some success. They're causing turnovers. So if Orton protects the ball, I mean, he could have a big game against them.
Yeah, he's been passing the ball around a lot. I mean, he's had a lot of different receivers. They got a lot of good weapons there. Number 3 ranked quarterback right now, over 400 yards last week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think he's just all of a sudden going to shut down against the Tennessee defense. I don't think they really have that much defense. Even them, they played the Steelers with Charlie Batch, and they haven't had a lot of pressure either. Jacksonville, I think they have a game against Jacksonville.
Well, you also got Brandon Marshall going against New England. You got to love that. New England's defense has just looked terrible. I was listening to a podcast the other day and said, they thought if they brought Troy Brown back to come and play a little bit of defense, that it still wouldn't matter. He might even be better than what they got right now.
Yeah, Brandon Marshall, he's licking his chops, thinking, okay, this is, he scored 20-something last week. I mean, this is going to be a great matchup for him. He's figuring out Chad Henne.
Yeah, it's a divisional game, and he's also got one of the best wide receivers in the history of the game going against him on the other side.
Yeah.
So he's going to want to show up.
Right. Yeah, I think he wants 10 catches at least this week.
And again, we talked about Jacoby Jones and the possibility of Andre Johnson being out, and what the benefits of Jacoby Jones in your side.
If Andre Johnson's out, I think Jacoby Jones. I mean, he's got 50 yards. He's averaging 50 yards a game as the number 3 receiver. 5 catches.
He'll take it.
Yeah, I think he's going to have. If Andre's out, I think he could have another big game.
I am going to take the Soldier in this matchup. I think that Jake really is going to need another running back to step up, and John Green just hasn't filled up that gap yet.
Yeah, I don't think he's got enough offense. I think right now the Soldier's playing well, and they're scoring the points. So I think Soldier, we're going to go ahead and pull out our 3rd victory of the season.
We got Puerto Rico against Paper. Puerto Rico still, we were able to manage to get players in the lineup early, but still doesn't have a defense filled in yet.
Yeah, I think it's early in the week. He's still trying to figure out what's his best matchup. So we'll give him at least the Phillies got 85% of his lineup filled up this week. That's not bad.
So. He does have as far as his running back matchups, kind of iffy on some of those. You just don't really know. Forte didn't have a very good week last week going against the Giants this week. You never really know what to expect from the Giants defense.
Yeah, I mean, Forte, obviously, everybody thought in that first week that he was going to, the Mike Martz loves the running back, but I think it's kind of showing he's not the running back. He's a pass catcher. He's not a runner.
And they might be able to use that against the Giants. So I don't know. I think his matchups are above average for running backs. On paper, Henne, again, we talked about the good matchup because the Patriots' defense is terrible.
Yeah.
And really, let's talk about something else. Paper is living and dying on Monday nights.
Yeah. Oh.
And this could make 4 weeks in a row that it comes down to the Monday night matchup. And at this point in time, I have no reason to doubt that Paper will be able to pull something off on Monday night again.
Yeah, he's been the class of the GFO right now. Everybody's chasing him, and I think Monday nights have been a big night for him, and so why not this week as well to have a big Monday night out of Henne?
Yep, he's got Arian Foster, who has a good matchup going against Oakland. Again, if they decide to run the ball, it should be a pretty good option for Arian Foster. He didn't play him last week. Not really bit him in the butt because obviously he won, but I think Arian Foster would be a good play again.
Yeah, I think Arian Foster is going to be in every week back here pretty soon in the league.
All right, well, in this matchup, I'm going to take Paper. Again, I just think that Monday night is going to be another night for Paper to stay up late, sitting on the toilet watching the game as he's nervous and has the squirts. But I think he'll be able to pull off the win.
Yeah, I think Annex has to find a quarterback. I think, Gerard hasn't scored a point in the last 2 weeks. He had 1 last week, -1 the week before that.
Yeah.
Even Favre has gotten 8 points. Not that I'm proud of that, but 8 is better than 0.
8 is better than minus.
And so if he comes up with maybe a better answer at quarterback, maybe we could get him picked by the end of the week. But right now I got to go with Paper.
All right.
So.
Well, that's it for week 4. Again, Mr. Chapman, I do appreciate you being willing to spend time out of your busy schedule to get the show done. And,
hey, no problem. No hard feelings to anybody I didn't pick. It's just
my
opinion.
It's just your opinion, and we can talk about it on the Fantasy Wire. Don't forget, this is the first week of buys. Week 4 is the first week of buys, and there'll be some interesting matchups here going on this week. May all your fantasy players be studs. Peace out.